Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you. Welcome to my video lecture series on science and technology. I'm a London based physicist, educator, consultant, and a columnist. In today's lecture, we'll be going over coronavirus variants, coronavirus vaccines, and how the vaccines work. So let's directly go to the presentation. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my presentation on COVID variants. In today's presentation, we'll be looking at the COVID variants of concern. We'll be looking at COVID-19 vaccines and how do these vaccines work. So all viruses, including SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, they mutate over time. Most changes have little or no impact on the virus's properties. However, some changes may affect the virus properties, such as how easily it spreads, the associated disease severity, and the performance of the vaccines. Now, there are two variants, the variants of interest and variants of concern. The variants of interest are the ones where a change to the virus has been detected, but it is not known if there will be any impact from this change. But the variants of concern are the ones where the change to the virus makes it easier to spread, can worsen the symptoms, or may reduce the effectiveness of the vaccines. So far, we have 4 COVID variants of concern. B1.1.7 was first detected in UK, Kent, and is referred as Alpha. This was the first COVID variant of concern. Then we had detected the second COVID variant of concern, and that was B.1.351. This was first detected in South Africa, and this is referred as Beta. P.1 variant was detected in Brazil and is referred as Gamma, and B.1.617.2 was detected in India and is referred as Delta. However, Delta has undergone further mutation and is also referred as Delta Plus. So let's try to look at the structure of SARS-CoV-2 virus. So if you zoom on here, if you zoom on to, just a moment. So if you zoom on to here, the spike proteins, you will realize that the spike proteins are present. So these spike proteins, they are present on the surface of the virus, which helps the virus to lock. So these help the virus to lock and infect the cells. If the antibodies, they block the spike proteins, or antibodies, they learn how to recognize them, the virus can be destroyed or prevented from spreading. So let's try to understand how these COVID vaccines work. Now, stage 1, the vaccines are introduced in safe amounts into the body. These helps the immune system to recognize them as hostile and develop antibodies to fight them out. Let's have a visual understanding of how these vaccines work. So this is the structure of SARS-CoV-2 virus. Let's zoom on to the spike protein. So this is the spike protein with which the virus locks or infects the cells. Now, let's try to understand how a traditional virus vaccine works. The virus is first modified, deactivated, weakened, or disabled, and is then introduced inside the body. Immediately, the immune system is triggered. You see, the immune system is immediately triggered, and antibodies and T cells attack the virus. In the entire process, the specialized memory cells take note of the specific antigen. So next time when the person is exposed to the same virus, the immune system is ready to fight it off. Well, that's the entire mechanism by which these COVID vaccines work. So as of June 2021, we have the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which was developed by the researchers from Oxford University. And this was rolled out in December 2020. We have the Pfizer vaccine, which was rolled out in January 2021. We have the Moderna vaccine, which became available in April 2021. And the Janssen vaccine, which was made by Johnson & Johnson and was approved in 2021 and will be available later this year. Now let's try to understand how these viral vector vaccines work. So Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is a viral vector vaccine delivered in 2 doses. It contains a harmless modified form of virus called adenovirus as its active ingredient to deliver the COVID-19 virus proteins for our bodies to recognize and make antibodies. The important thing to remember here is all the vaccines have the same end goal, that is to train the system to recognize the coronavirus. The bottom line is that the immune system should start producing antibodies to fight the coronavirus. So let's have a visual analysis of viral vector vaccine. So in viral vector vaccine, you see the genetic code for the antigen, is inserted inside a harmless virus called adenovirus, which acts as a delivery system to get the code into the cells. This stimulates the body's natural defense immune system and causes the body to reproduce its own protection or antibodies against the virus. Again, the end goal is to train the system to start producing antibodies. So this is how the viral vector vaccines work. The Pfizer vaccine is an mRNA vaccine, messenger RNA vaccine. The active ingredients sends instructions to the body cells to make specific viral proteins that can be recognized by the immune system to fight the COVID-19 virus. The Pfizer vaccine does not contain any live virus, so it can't give you COVID. The Moderna vaccine works exactly the same way as the Pfizer vaccine. It is also an mRNA vaccine and is delivered in 2 doses. So let's have a visual analysis of mRNA vaccine. Now, if you look at the mRNA vaccines involve inserting the genetic code into the cells to produce antigens. But instead of using the virus to deliver the code, these vaccines take a more direct approach that involves inserting the code directly into the cells, either by attaching it to a molecule or by forcing it in the cells using a gene gun. Now, the cells take the mRNA instructions. They take the mRNA instructions from the vaccines and make a harmless piece of protein called the spike protein. The immune system senses the spike protein and starts making antibodies. This helps the body to recognize and fight the real virus. Now, what are the side effects of these vaccines? Well, a sore arm, tenderness or itching, tiredness, headaches, or mild flu-like symptoms, Side effect symptoms are generally mild, but again, it depends from person to person. We all know every individual is different, so it all depends from person to person. Well, that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I would like to end my presentation with the quote given by our Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson. If we keep going, we will beat coronavirus together. So stay strong. Together we can beat coronavirus. However, make sure to get vaccinated.